Traders Association, GUTA, is outraged over the increasing cost of doing business in the country. The group wants an immediate removal of fumigation charges at the port, which they explain is unnecessary, adding their containers are already fumigated before it arrives at the port. So they are of the view also that the increase in duties of electricals from 10 to 20% in just a year should be blamed for the rampant abandoning of cargoes at the port. What do you make of their demands? Is it genuine?
I think their claim is fair. If the government, if their containers are already fumigated before arriving at the port, then I think that for government to be fair, it doesn't need to charge any extra for them to incur, because it increases the cost of their goods, and it's also increased. It comes with a higher price for consumers not to buy the goods, and because of that, they might be incurring losses. They might not meet the target of what to sell to make a profit.
Looking at some of the concerns they are raising on the charges, because some are trying to make comparison with the previous government, how things were easy when they are getting things from the port. And with the current charges, it's really affecting the goods and the things they are bringing, importing down here. So I think the government will have to listen to their concerns and work things out, such that, because we, the citizens who patronize in those goods, also in the long run are affected, because they would want to recoup their money, and so they will increase the things they bring in, and in effect we are going to suffer. So
what I think that the government should listen to the people, the voice of the people, so that what they deserve, the government should do it for them. That's what I prefer.
Their claims might not, to me, it might not necessarily be of one which is right, though the government knows why he has put in those measures in place. And secondly, for me, I believe with the kind of taxes that have been put in place is to help the nation. So if one way or the other they are making claims of the tax exemption, I think it's not of any good claim that they have to make.
All right, some interesting comments are also on Facebook. Let's check them out. However,
okay, so Godfred Aiken says, no matter how weak I am, seeing my president on TV, that is Nanado, always gives me strength to get up and change the channel. But what does this have to do with the topic, Godfred? Anyway, Indezure Samuel says, sad, if government fails to listen, then they would hardly pass the cost to we the customers. Sad to see and hear my fellow consumers defend these greedy politicians. And Amawade Francis says, hey, Guta, are you also feeling the heat now after contributing so much for somebody's political campaign? No situation is permanent. And Jesus, this is quite long, but okay, let's see. Let's go back to the earlier one.
okay.
Now, and it's George Amwaf. We'll read a little bit of that. He says, for real, the president has to be very vigilant and serious at the ports. One of the downfalls of NDC. How could you charge for fumigation of containers from the traders for what? This is fraud and should not be entertained. Why are you channeling all the funds you need from the ports to worsen the woes of importers? This is one of the lazy ways of managing the economy. Nanado and MPP, do you remember the contributions of importers to your victory? They contributed their energy to help you win. So that's from that's one of our viewers. Vincent Mensah says 500 billion chop chop. Ghana at 60 billion chop chop. Bost and 42 billion chop chop. 40 billion fall army worms chop chop. 28 billion Maslow chop chop. I just suffer. 41 billion premix fuel chop chop. 36 billion YEA chop chop. 80 billion website created. 34 billion app for Ejako and Lumba. 42 billion Kolebu chop chop. 18 billion chop chop for education trainees outside. 43 billion Ah, I'm so tired. I shall care to continue.
And Nana Opoku Ekufuado is okay. He says, oh no, he came up and Walanyo Akweche says Ghanaians, why
in our
you
comments.
want good things, free education, but you don't want to pay tax. Brian Suraji says, CEO, all these so-called consumers are NDC members with their unnecessary propaganda against this visionary government. Government will continue to make Ghanaians proud through its investment policies. Nanayaro comes to say, ha ha ha, not be you market people say you won't change. Now you get them. And I want to add kadang kadang. And Mahama Adam says we're using your tax to finance the SHS, meaning the SHS is not free. You're paying for it indirectly. Balasai says you should keep quiet and take it easy. MC Kojo writes, free SHS is what I make of it. This free SHS has been turned into an excuse for every hardship on the citizens. God. And Abogla says, I thought they, means the government, have abolished all the killer taxes. They should rather shoot and kill the killer taxes than the miners. and
I think that's in reference to what the first deputy speaker was saying about
and
shoot to
Mr.
kill.
President is not fulfilling his promises. Those are some interesting comments on Facebook. Also, for the football lovers, at long last, the Ghana Premier League will begin this weekend after several months of delay due to an interlocutory injunction by the Accra Great Olympics. I'm sure this has switched your attention to the European leagues instead of the local ones. So, for the football fans, I want to ask of your favorite team and whether or not you will be motivated to watch the upcoming league.
I'm a Kotoko fan. Yeah, I support Kotoko. Well, I would say no, because for the issue to have been dragged for all this while, and all of a sudden you be asked to come and play, of course you didn't feel that good. Maybe the teams would have been training by then, but I would say all of a sudden to have started the league, I think they wouldn't be happy as a team.
Fabulous fan, Kotoko. If it's shown on television, I will watch it to observe what the level, the standard of the game that we have in Ghana. Even though I am a Barca fan, I watch European League and listen, but I also like to see the kind of players we are parading in our league.
Right now, in talk of motivation, I'll say I support our crowds of folk, and no, Ghana Premier League, they are not sponsoring. In terms of sponsorship, it's not going well. So if sponsorship wise they try improving on the sponsorship, then I think that Ghanaians are going to watch.
Actually, the way GFA itself is handling the league, it creates doubts, and it gives the room for other clubs who are being treated unfairly. So whoever is not treated fair will take you to court. And because of that, the attraction is going away. We are all interested in the EPL now. Everybody is watching EPL. For I watch Manchester United. So every weekend, I make sure that I watch those matches. I watch their matches.
Let's check out your comments on Facebook.
Before we check out the comments, Aisha, I want to know, I just want to put you on the spot. Who is your favorite local team?
Well, I think to have some soft spot for Accra Hearts of Oak, but I don't have a favorite one.
I'm Ebusian Dwarfs from the central region.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why they call them dwarfs though, because Fantis are not known to be short.
So.
But let's see what people are saying on Facebook. And Isaac Survival Jabin says, our league is the poorest in the world. 99.9% of football fans don't even know local players' name, but can name EPL relegation team player. Our league resembles someone who has drunk bitter juice. Yes, bitter juice. Well, Bismarck Obenmafo says, some have not even gone to Europe before, or even seen the airport before, but they are too proud to like the local league. It says, go and stay in Europe and support their league. And Stephen Owusu writes, it's not true that Ghana League is dead. Some Ghanaians believe that talking of football in Ghana is all about Kotoko. And once Kotoko has declined from his old story, that means there's no league in Ghana. Okay, I don't quite get it. Now that we have competitive league in Ghana, unlike before, if not Kotoko, it is Hearts of Oak. Okay, Jason Brightman says, Accra Hearts of Oak, I won't be motivated.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on. And Mohammed Sule says, my favorite team is Accra Hearts of Oak, but I don't even know the name of one single player in the team. Who's even our coach? Serious, isn't it?
And Henry Emery's Estelle says, I used to support Kotoko when growing up, but now I can't mention one player's name who plays for Kotoko or any of the teams. Walanyo Akweche says, Charlie Ghana League, don't try to support any with your heart, else you will be suffering from broken heart. Anyone that wins is my team. Yeah, good decision. Natofe Dodi says, my team is Hearts and will always watch them best our wife Kotoko. Okay, beat, I guess wanted to type beat our wife Kotoko, which has always filled Ghana by existing from the. I really don't get your message. All right. And finally, we often hear stories like, I had to stop schooling to cater for my partner to complete his education and he dumped me afterwards. Yes, they call it help me finish my course. Now, the most annoying part of it is when you hear a guy or lady saying to their partner, you are no longer my class. Then you begin to question why someone will decide to sacrifice their education for their partner only to be dumped in the end. So tell me, in the event of scarce resources, will you sacrifice your education for your man or woman to further theirs?
I will not do that. I won't. Then he will go and come. Oh, I won't. Never. And leave me. He may not be interested in me again. So I won't, please.
Yes, I will. Because for now, we don't have any money to sponsor the two of us. So I will allow the partner to go. But after school, in case he would drop me, I wouldn't allow that rubbish.
I think the point my sister raised is very, laudable. But I think it's also dependence. It depends on you knowing your partner as to whether, your partner is the type, even though you can't, foresee the future. But it also depends on you knowing your partner, knowing that, no, this is my partner. If we should use our limited or scarce resources to, further her education or his education, definitely if he comes back, there's no way he's going to leave the other partner. So I think it depends on knowing their personality.
I don't think I would. Why? Because these days, men are not to be trusted. What if, let's say, that money I used to cater for your education, I can use that same money to do something to generate money to cater for us. You know that there are certain things, like I'm not your class, as you said, and I don't relate to your level of education. So even if you are going somewhere and you have to go with me, you feel shy because I've not been able to meet the standard of your level of education. So
However, so you see, when I was going to sponsor with my money, that time I was your fresh tomatoes. Now that you've completed, you're now telling me
always
I'm not
the
your
case of men.
Yes,
I rarely hear about women.
Mostly, there are some women who
partners.
do that, but I mean, mostly you hear the men dumping the women after. I mean, some of them selling pepper and all that to support them. Let's check out what you've been posting on
Okay,
Facebook.
so Abdul Rahman Rahima says, it depends on your relationship with him or her.
Oh, cheer.
And Baba Lukman says, possible, but depends on the kind of person you're dealing with. Could be true. Dear Van Visio says, maybe in another world, but in this one, nah. Obed Mokson Kwanse says, what for? Am I mad? And then at the end, she'll tell you, you ain't her class. It shall not happen in my life. And Kwabena Tuntum Kama Kesi says, Anka Mejimi, Anka Makwa. Anka, when I chop fufu, I don't drink the soup. Ah, Kai. And then Toko Chair Jacob writes, which weed will I be smoking whilst doing that? And Walanyo Akwetia says, oh, how? How about if there's divorce? Who benefits? I won't do that, oh, please. It seems a lot of people are shying away from it. They don't want to do it. And Abdallah Imoro says, yes, but depending on where the funding is coming from. Really, Abdallah? Okay.
Rafik says, depending on the commitment, otherwise we will be doomed. And Steve Kobe says, somehow, if only he be good for pa, then I will do it. Okay, Kwabnebu says, further what? Even after completing training college, they think they are above you. Nowadays, you will see taxi driver or hawker working hard to pay his girlfriend's school fees. And after she completes and dog him, you will say broken heart has catch.
For shine your eye. That'd be all.
All right. Those are some interesting comments there.